We've hugged. We're old friends. We went to high school together.
Why aren't you singing then?
I know. Well, no. Well, welcome to another Hot Sessions, and we are streaming online at hot1015tampabay.com.
Yes.
And we have a chat room open. So someone said, "Hey, boo."
Hello.
Hi.
As we're streaming live. But what's interesting is you all went to a very notable school with about a lot of notable people, like Tove Lo. Y'all went to school with. What was it like going to school with like so many talented people?
Well, I am a year older, so I didn't even hang out with Tove Lo or Caroline until like 4 or 5 years after school, which was we just bumped into each other. But now when I think back at it, it's like it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like we have so many friends that's become something big from that school. Robin went to that school as well.
Yeah, we actually had Tove Lo here, and she was telling us the same thing. She was like, it was just
In
incredible
Castle,
the amount of people that.
And I think it's pretty cool when you think about it, because usually when it comes to music schools, a lot of people after a few years they start doing something else because it is tough to do it full time and like.
Oh yeah.
But it's so many of our friends that just kept on going.
Yeah. Really successful. My biggest question for you guys, because you didn't actually meet at school, it was like afterwards.
Yeah.
You kind of hooked up and were like, hey, let's do music together. So what is it about someone that you're like, you see each other and you're like, this is going to work out? Or do you just try it and see how it feels?
I think it's like when you meet, if you meet someone that you fall in love with, or if you meet a friend that you feel like you instantly click with, it's energies. And I always think back at all those moments, and you can't explain it. You just like feel like, oh, this is so natural. This is, and something in your body tells you like, we should hang out. We should do something together.
I totally get that.
And sometimes you think that, and then you don't call the other person. But I think we felt it both very strongly. So the day after we met, we formed a band.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Obviously, it's worked out.
Yeah, it's worked out very good, I have to say.
Yeah.
Now, how has your sound changed from when you all first got together until now? Like, what have you been working towards? Like, what are some new stuff? Like, what's your theme that you're going with now?
We never have like a certain way of writing or a certain sound. Of course we have a sound, but we don't try to get that sound. We just have it naturally. But we always try to like what did we try, Caroline?
No, but I think it's been a journey for sure. Like when we started out, we were producing and writing everything ourselves. So of course it sounded a certain way.
Yeah.
Then you start having the luxury to work together with people, which is also so much fun, because then it's like a clash of different energies. So we come with one energy, and then the person that we write with come with one energy, and then you never know what's going to happen. And because we've been touring so much for such a long time, we haven't had a home for, I think, 6 years. Yeah.
Sure.
So we've just been touring and touring. So we always make sure that we have a microphone, and we record it in like our closet, toilets, a tour bus,
wherever you can get
backstage. Yes. So I think that contributes to a very free sound as well. And we love like drums, and we're nerds when it comes to sounds. So when it comes to finding and tweaking sounds, maybe recording something live and then tweak it a lot so it doesn't sound the same. Sometimes we record our voices and we do something with them so it sounds like instruments. It's just very fun to play around. And also, you can't do any mistakes in the studio. We might not be the best ones playing drums, but we do it anyway. And I think that freedom is very, very important when we create, because if someone comes and tells us like you can't do that, then I feel like how I just close down.
Yes.
And so it's very, very important to have that open-minded way of writing for us.
I think what's been really cool, what a lot of people identified with you all, is your themes on feminism. What have you faced as two very strong women with a strong message? Did you face any pushback from the music industry, or did you have to fight any battles or anything like that coming up?
Yeah, we've been through a lot together. I remember like we've been playing a lot of festivals, and it's always like, in the beginning it was always like a lot of people that were like, "Are you playing for real?" Because we were girls, and also
Like seriously?
yeah, seriously, and
Like,
the
it
same,
is a
yeah.
little too late in the game to be asking these
And
questions.
then I think when we used to live in London and we DJ'd, there was these two guys that were playing, and then we were supposed to DJ after them, and they were like, "So this is where you push play, and this way you push out the CD," and we were like, "Oh, really?" And then we started to DJ, and we were so much better than them. So that was pretty nice.
That's going to show them up a little bit.
Yeah, and I definitely think that, I mean, we started and we felt like we had a superpower together. We felt like, wow, we found something and we're going to show that to the world. So we were a little bit cocky, you know, when we were like, haha, we can do this.
We're taking on
If you say no, then you're not our friend anymore. But then when that first like hype that we had, when you start facing struggles and, you know, reality checks in, then I think it was so good that we were two, because we could just like, we always had each other. And what we've learned more we're two girls that have a lot to say, and we're not quiet about anything. So if we feel like something is wrong, then we say it. And I think that's such an important thing, because you're in situations at a festival or when something happens like at a DJ show like that, and you don't say anything, and then you go home and you're like, why didn't I say anything?
Yeah.
So that's our rule, like confronting people that we feel like, hey, what do you mean by that? Like, and also we're two girls, we're two best friends doing our thing, and we're supporting each other. And when it comes to like Tovolo, or we've always been a very tight crew that supports each other instead of being catty and being like, hi, you know?
Yeah, instead of like
I
being
think
nice
it's
up front
important.
and then talk about
Throwing
someone behind their
shade.
back.
Yeah,
you know,
to
you
like
just-
support your girlfriends or friends in general.
Mhm.
Doesn't only have to be girls.
No, it's important though. That's
Yeah.
an important message to put out there, to say what you want and get what you want.
Yeah.
Or at least make it known so that you've done your part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Would you say that would be the biggest piece of advice that you would give to an up-and-coming female artist that's sort of breaking into the business? Because I feel like that's a theme I hear a lot with new female artists, is being able to speak your piece and being able to speak your mind.
I think just girls in general, girls
True.
growing up. That's huge. That's a huge piece of advice.
Yeah, and I think also, I mean, we're a new generation, and a lot of, it doesn't matter what kind of business you're in, they are kind of based on old rules. And I think it's very important that you just don't accept it. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm this generation, so I live my life this way. And if you feel like someone is stepping on you and don't take you seriously, or you're doing a better job than a guy but you don't get paid as much, then you should say something, you know?
Definitely.